गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद श्रीला प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam Hridayantasto Hyabhadrani Vidhunoti Suritsata. Hare Krishna. So today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 2, Text 1.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. How they just take you
Hare
away?
Krishna.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you so
I
much.
never have to say bye to you.
We'll see you in New York. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, this will be a long time. Maybe I'll definitely, we'll keep in touch.
We'll see you soon.
No, thank you so much
Hare
for
Krishna.
coming.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for coming.
Back home, back to New York.
I'll keep in touch with you. Anything.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Shukovacha Govinda Bhujaguptayam Dvaravatyam Kurudvaha Avatsi Narado Bhikshnam Krishnopasana Lalasa. Shri Shukovacha Govinda Bhujaguptayam Dvaravatyam Kurudvaha Avatsi Narado Bhikshnam Krishnopasana Lalasa. Shri Shukovacha Govinda Bhujaguptayam Dvaravatyam Kurudvaha Avatsi Narado Bhikshnam Krishnopasana Lalasa. Please repeat. Shri Shukovacha Krishnopasana Lalasa. Shri Shukovacha Govinda Bhujaguptayam Dvaravatyam Kurudvaha Bhikshnam Krishnopasana Lalasa. Anyone else?
Shri Shukovacha
Shri Shukovacha Govinda Bhujaguptayam
Dvaravatayam Kurudvaha
Dvaravatyam Gurudvaha
Avatsi Narado
Avatsi
Bhikshanam
Narad Bhikshnam
Krishnopasana Lalasa.
Krishnopasana Lalasa. Shri Shukovacha Shri Shuka said, Govinda, of Lord Govinda, Bhuja, by the arms, Guptayam, protected, Dvaravatyam, in the capital Dvaravati, Kurudvaha, O best of the Kurus, Avatsin, dwelled, Narada, Narada Muni, Abhikshnam, constantly, Krishna Upasana, to engage in the worship of Krishna, Lalasa, who had great eagerness. Translation: Sri Shukadev Goswami said, eager to engage in the worship of Lord Krishna, O best of the Kurus, Narada Muni stayed for some time in Dwaraka, which was always protected by the arms of Govinda. Please repeat after me. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, eager to engage in the worship of Lord Krishna, O best of the Kurus, Narada Muni stayed for some time in Dwaraka, which was always protected by the arms of Govinda. Purport by the dear servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. In the second chapter of this canto, Bhagavad Dharma, or pure devotional service to Krishna, is explained by Narada Muni to Vasudeva, who had inquired with devotion. Narada Muni cites a conversation between King Nimi and Jayantayas. According to Jiva Goswami, the word Abhikshnam indicates that although Narada Muni was frequently sent by Lord Krishna here and there for various pastimes, such as inquiring about the affairs of the world, Narada continuously returned to reside in Dwaraka. The word Krishnopasana lalasa indicates that Narada was very eager to be near Krishna and worship him. Because of the curse of Daksha, Narada is never allowed to live continuously in one place. Sridhar Swami, however, has pointed out, Natasyam sapade prabhavaha. In Dwaraka, there is no influence of curses or other evils, because Dwaraka is the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is always protected by His arms, as shown by the word Govinda Bhuja Guptayam. The conditioned souls are struggling within the kingdom of Maya against the cruel laws of material nature, such as birth, death, old age, and disease. But if such conditioned souls have the great fortune to enter the city of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether Dwaraka, Mathura, or Vrindavan, and live there under the direct protection of the omnipotent arms of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, they will experience the unlimited transcendental bliss of real life, which is eternal and which is meant to be lived in the personal company of God. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunana Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaeva cha Padidana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Asyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ajanulambita Vajo Kanakavadato Sankirtaneka Kapitaro Kamalayataksho Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Vaisheshikada Sarikarte Namane Namaha Prashashilaya Prabhupada Rashanine Anandite Rite Tasmai Shastra Bhajana Chodine. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for coming to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Would like to seek the blessings of all the assembled devotees here. It's a very long weekend we had, such an ecstatic weekend, light of the Bhagavad. And Vaisheshika Prabhu, he spoke until Canto 9 and 10. So attempting to follow in the footsteps of him, we'll try to finish, we can never finish, but try to discuss something from Canto 11 and 12. Actually, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Swami. Do you know who this is? Who is this? Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj is the sannyas guru of Srila Prabhupada. He's called Acharya Keshari. So Prabhupada writes in 1968 in Seattle. He writes when Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj passed away. He writes actually few verses about him, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. And he was the one that gave Prabhupada sannyas in the Gaudiya Math in Mathura. And so when asked what is his favorite book, what a canto, you'd say most Gaudiya Vaishnavas will say 10th canto is our favorite. And many ISKCON devotees will say first canto because Prabhupada came with first canto. Actually, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj said actually 11th canto is my favorite. Because 11th canto is amazing because now you've been immersed in the topics of Krishna in the 10th canto, and now we get into all this, and you think like the Bhagavatam's almost over, and now you're hit with this strong philosophical treatise of the 11th canto, and a majority of the 11th canto is Krishna speaking to Uddhava. So before this, we even get to Canto 11, Chapter 1. I just pulled out this verse because it's speaking about Narada Muni. Ironically, I'm in the same section in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm in the 10th canto in chapter 70. Actually, I'm past that now, but there's a section where Krishna's Narada Muni is visiting every palace in Dwaraka. And so when Krishna would come out of the palaces, Krishna has how many queens?
16,108.
Yes. And so 16,108 queens, and each one had her own palace. How amazing. Just to get a little house in Toronto, we're working so hard. And he had 16,100. And it's amazing, in one of the purports, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada are quoting the Acharyas, when Krishna would walk out of the palace in the morning, it'd say, there's a chapter, I think chapter 70 or something, it's about the daily activities of Krishna. And one of the things, Krishna does so many interesting things in the morning. He wakes up at what time? Brahma Muhurta. We're following in the footsteps of Krishna. He would wake up, shower, he would, and it's specifically, it's mentioned there, I don't know why. Krishna would wake up and he'd look at all the auspicious paraphernalia, and you know what he'd look at in the morning? Ghee. He would go look at ghee in the morning, and then he would look at all these things. He would look at the cows, he would look at the various articles, and then he would see, how do I give these as gifts to the brahmanas and things like that. So it was very beautiful, actually. So Narada Muni comes and visits, and he's in very much ecstasy in Dwaraka. But Narada Muni has a problem. Not a problem in Dwarka, but he has a problem that's mentioned in this purport. What is his problem? Exactly. He's cursed to not live in one place for long periods of time. So Narada, he is actually, if you think about it, he is one of the most famous, we're speaking about carrying the Bhagavatam and distributing the Bhagavatam. He is the most famous carrier of Srimad Bhagavatam. Do you know Narada Muni comes in every canto of Srimad Bhagavatam? Every single canto, he's there. Nobody else can say that. Maybe Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami. Even them, in the first canto, Parikshit Maharaj comes towards the end of the 19. But he comes in every single canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Narada Muni is traveling, and Narada Muni always happens to be. We sometimes in Indian culture or in the culture we sometimes we make fun of Narada Muni. He's like a transcendental troublemaker, but actually he's an acharya, and we must learn a lot about him. And so Narada Muni, he always happens to be at the right place at the right time. And where does he happen to be? He happens to be in the forest and walking around and traveling. Hare Krishna. And so if I ask any of you, what is the most happiest day of your life for a normal person? What would you say? In traditional life, what is the happiest day of your life?
You graduate.
Huh?
You graduate college.
When you graduate college and you're in $30,000 worth of debt. Good. Yeah, I'm very happy. Yes, Prabhu.
When I got my initiation.
When you got your initiation, bro, this is much more advanced than the topic we're talking about. What is the happiest day of life?
Birthdays.
Birthday. That's pretty good. If you ask in any Indian family, what is the happiest day in life? What will they say?
Marriage.
Marriage day. Yes. Not for you. It's okay. Someone had to say it. So Narada Muni goes to Daksha. Prajapati Daksha, his name, literally, if you think first name, last name's Prajapati. What does Prajapati mean?
The protector for
Progenitor. He has a very important job, and he needs to create population. And so what does he do? He goes to the Vindhya mountains. And the Vindhya mountains, he's offering all sorts of prayers and doing austerities. You may be on this section of Bhagavatam right now. So he's praying the Hamsa Guhya prayers. Such beautiful prayers he's praying Supreme Lord. And Krishna blesses him with 10,000 sons. Now that's austerity. If you've done such austerity and Krishna blesses you. And what does his sons do? His son says, like father, like son, we must also do austerity. So, Vanam Brajet, they go to the forest and they're getting prepared to do as their father's done. His father did austerity, then he did progeny. So they all go to the forest, 10,000 brothers going to the forest. And who do they meet? Narada Muni. And now, what does Narada Muni say? Narada Muni says, and so he gets married with, Daksha gets married to Ashkini, 10,000 sons, and the sons are in the forest, and he says, oh, you're so young, you're so healthy, you're so this, why do you need to get married? Why do you need to get married? You don't need to do this. And so when a preacher sees a potential in some people, he, like my Guru Maharaj says, fans the spark. So Narada Muni, he fans the spark of, oh yeah. So then Daksha comes up here and he's expecting progeny, and then he sees his sons have all become brahmacharis. And he's like, hey, what's happening here? And so he gets angry. He gets angry, but he says sadhu has done. You know, like we even see in Ramayana, we see in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, when sadhu does something, okay, no problem. You know, like when HADAI Pandit, the sannyasi comes and gets Nityananda Prabhu, take my son. He passes away, actually. Same thing with Ram. Ram was taken by Vishishta Muni. And then so fine, go get trained. So 10,000 sons. You live austere, simple. Why would you want to get married? But he never forces it upon them. This is a good preaching tactic. Never tell them what to do. Make them just kind of deduce every other option and just give and then you make the decision now. So okay, Daksha is okay, I'll take it. I take it to 10,000 sons. Hare Krishna. It's done. So let me try again. So he goes and prays again, and he has 1,000 more sons. What are they called? The Sabalasvas. The Sabalasvas, and then so he has 1,000 sons, and then they say, okay, like father, like son, let's go to the forest. And then who do they meet? Narada Muni. And Narada Muni, what does he do? You're so simple, you're so austere, you're so this. You should just become brahmacharis. And he does it again. It's like, wow, this is like good day at the office, Like you go and then like when you're book distribution, everybody's saying no, no, no. And then one person's like, oh, I'm interested in Gita. Everybody just pounces on this person. So Narada Muni is just like, now Daksha has had it. He's had enough. Daksha is giving the argument that why now? They have to experience the world. They should get married. They should have children and then renounce. Actually, Keshav Maharaj told me when we were having, not Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj, he was telling me one story of, in the manor, there was one young boy who was joining. And so he had joined the ashram, and when an Indian person joins the ashram, it's 10x. It's like the amount of heartache that it's 10x. So he comes, and then a whole delegation from his family had come. Mother, father, cousins, grandfather, all had come to speak to the temple president, Shruti Dharma Prabhu. And so Shruti Dharma Prabhu is in the office with everybody. And anybody met Shruti Dharma Prabhu? Nobody met Shruti Dharma Prabhu? Shruti Dharma Prabhu was one of the most legendary temple presidents of Bhaktivedanta Manor. And so anyway, so they're all sitting in the office, and the father gives the same argument as Daksha. He says, why my son is so young? He has to grow up. He has to go to college, get a job, get married, have children, and then he can join the ashram. And so, what does the Shruti Dharma Prabhu say? Oh, Prabhu, he tells the father, we can keep your son, you join the ashram. And then so, what Narada Muni is saying is that actually, yes, for a normal condition of life, people have to go through these things. But for a certain class of people, if they can hear that this is what material life is like, then they can follow, they can do. You don't have to experience pain. So this is actually such a nice teaching, actually, that Narada Muni is one of the best preachers. And this is the context of the curse. Daksha gives this curse. Daksha gives this curse to Narada Muni, and he says, you are cursed to not stay in one place for very long. This is the curse that the Bhagavatam is speaking about. Actually, this is, Narada Muni says, great, it's amazing. It just helps my preaching more. I can just go around and preach more. So, this is the context of this. But as we're learning from this verse, in Dwaraka, the curses are not relevant because it is Krishna's abode. When in Krishna's abode, there's no consideration of curses, of invalids, of certain body type or certain things. Krishna is sarvasya chaham ridhi sannivisto mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. It is not that some people are qualified, some people unqualified. It is all inside the holy land of Krishna. So the purport is speaking about the good fortune to enter the city of Dwaraka, Mathura, Vrindavan. It is only, you can only enter these places why can you only enter these places? If you have any nefarious thoughts of how to hurt the devotees or hurt the people, would you be able to enter these places? How do you explain when who was that king? Aurangzeb entered Vrindavan and heard all the devotees. How do you explain that?
He has no free will.
He has free will. Yes, this can be explaining. Krishna is saying here, Govinda Bhuja Guptayam. This Lord Govinda, by the arm, it's protected by the arms of Govinda. The holy places like Dwarka, Mathura, and Vrindavan. So yes, it is protected, but Krishna's plan is very unique. Like for example, Krishna doesn't like when cows are slaughtered, right? Yes?
Yes.
But does he allow it to happen?
Yes.
Permitter. What is that verse in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Upadrashta anumantacha. He is the overseer and the permitter. So it is like in the second chapter of Gita in the purport, there's an example of the bird on the tree. The one bird is eating, but one bird is observing. Super soul is observing. Krishna is observing. But when when you turn your face towards Krishna, then he's willing to reciprocate. Krishna bhulya jeev bhoga vancha kare nikatiya japatiya dhare. This verse. That when you make your face and you turn towards Krishna, then he will reciprocate. But he will reciprocate in ways that maybe you do not want him to reciprocate with. Because you make many people, you can see like when Krishna is entering Mathura and he's seeing all every person, there's this verse, can someone find the number? Mallanam Asanirinam, research department, funding's gone low. Mallanam Asanirinam, there's a beautiful verse. Mallanam Asanirinam, yeah. Just look, N-R-N-A-M. Yeah, that one. 10:43:17. You can sing this verse actually. It's a very beautiful. Mallanam ashani niram naravara Srinam smaro murtiman Gopanam svajano satam shiti bhujam Sashta svapitro shishu Mrityur bhojapate virada vidusham Tatvam param yoginam Vrishtinam paradevate vidito Rangam gata sagraja. Someone read the translation.
The various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways when he entered it with his elder brother. The wrestlers saw Krishna as a lightning bolt, the man of Mathura as the best of males, the woman as Cupid in person, the cowherd men as their relative, the empire rulers as the chastiser, his parents as their child, the king of the Bhojas as that, the unintelligent as the Supreme Lord's universal form, the yogis as the absolute truth, and the Vishnus as their supreme worshipable deity.
Beautiful verse, right? Everybody sees Krishna. Krishna is entering the wrestling arena. Everybody is seeing Krishna differently. Some people are seeing him as so beautiful and like they saw him as like a lightning bolt. Some people saw them as their children. And what does the king of the Bhojas, who's king of Bhojas? Kamsa sees him as death personified. So everybody has an individual relationship with Krishna. So, I forgot why I brought this verse up. Anyway, this is the beautiful example of how Krishna is letting everybody reciprocate with him as they're doing. Mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So as soon as we decide we want to be devotees, we want to be devotees of Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate. Same way when Prabhupada was saying that if you see the deity as dull stone, he will reciprocate as dull stone. But if you reciprocate with Krishna, Radha Kirchor Gopinath, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Gopinath who steals the kheer, then yes, he will reciprocate in that way. Why not? Crazier things have happened. Yeah, there's so many stories here, like with even practicalities of you must all have experienced the magic of Radha Kirchor Gopinath, of how, why else would you be here? Krishna is saying, Govinda Bhujagupta Ayam, every person who enters a temple, they don't think they came by mistake. Because Krishna's home is protected by Krishna's hands. So, and nobody can come to the holy dham of Nur Emuna or Vrindavan or Mathura or Mayapur or any of these places unless Krishna wills them to. Not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of Krishna. So remember there was yesterday, there was a Sunday feast. There was this lady we met at, the blonde lady, do you remember her? Yeah. She just came. And she got the Srimad Bhagavatam, the whole Srimad Bhagavatam said. It's not by mistake. We've been cycling Brahmande Brahmite Kon, Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai Bhakti Lata Beach. People have been wandering circle after circle, way life after life, just to get somehow meet somebody at Florence Spadina and get a book and then come to the temple and get a Srimad Bhagavatam said from a devotee. This is such an amazing thing. And this is directly arranged by Krishna. So, Govinda Bhujaguptayam. So, I was just, because I just had one more thing that I wanted to say and then we can stop for some reflections. Narada Muni was a preacher. And a preacher of Krishna consciousness, he does two things. As Keshav Maharaj says, he's a spiritual disruptor. He disrupts things. Sometimes on my first experiences at book distribution, first time I went on book distribution, I was 13 years old. My parents took me out, and I'm like, why do I want to disturb all these people? You know, they're living their lives. We can chant Hare Krishna in the temple. They may come and this. And then this book distributor comes up to me and he was really heavy with me. He said, these people are all suffering. and unless you, and then he showed me the fifth canto. He showed me the fifth canto and showed these pictures. He's like, these are the people, I'm 13 years old. These are the places that these people are gonna go to. And you're gonna stop them? And then I'm like, whoa, this is pretty heavy. And so I said, okay, let me try. And so the devotees are actually disruptors. But they do two things, preachers. They disturb, they generate doubt, and they generate faith. With the material world, they generate doubt, a lot of doubt, actually. And I'll just quote, because two verses from, I'll quote the last verse when we get to that, but in Canto 12, it tells about how what doubt we should have and what people are, I'll just read a couple of verses, how it creates doubt, how Shukadeva Goswami is creating doubt in the material world. Text 3, Canto 12, chapter 2. The symptoms of Kali Yuga. Men and women will live together merely because of superficial attraction, and success in business will depend on deceit. Womanliness and manliness will be judged according to one's expertise in sex, and a man will be known as a Brahmana just by wearing a thread. Text 4. A person's spiritual position will be ascertained merely according to external symbols, and on that same basis, people change from one spiritual order to the next. A person's propriety will be seriously questioned if he does not earn a good living, and one who is very clever at juggling words will be considered a learned scholar. Text 5. A person will be judged unholy if he does not have money, and hypocrisy will be accepted as a virtue. Marriage will be arranged simply by verbal agreement, and a person will think he is fit to appear in public if he has merely taken a bath. And text 6, one of my favorite verses. A sacred place will be taken to consist of no more than a reservoir of water located at a distance, and beauty will be thought to depend on one's hairstyle. Filling the belly will become the goal of life, and one who is audacious will be accepted as truthful. He who can maintain a family will be regarded as an expert man, and the principles of religion will be observed only for the sake of reputation. Is this applicable?
Yes.
Anybody finding some truth to this?
Yes.
Hairstyles? So this is, it creates doubt. Is this, if I work Monday to Friday, and then my 2 days I'm just recovering about, from those Mondays and Fridays. I was just thinking that people work, in America, we only get 2 weeks paid vacation every year. And then what do? They go see the mouse at Disneyland. And they spend all their money that they've saved. Literally, my parents took me to Disney World, actually, not even Disneyland, Disney World. It's not land, it's world. It's like you have like Animal Kingdom, you have this kingdom, that kingdom. And so basically, you know how much? It's like thousands of dollars people spend in to get in. Giriraj Swami was one time arguing with, telling Prabhupada, like, I'm very uncomfortable distributing books and stopping people. And then Prabhupada said, Giriraj Maharaj says this, he said they're going to spend their money on nonsense anyway. They're going to spend it on seeing big mice and Daffy Duck and Goofy and all these things. And what is the use? Kshama eva hi kevalam. How does that verse start? Dharma svanistata pumsam vishvakshena katasyad not padayed radidatim shama eva hi kevalam. That real religion, real life is not meant for just these superfluous things. It's meant to contemplate, who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? I am this age now. My body is 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. The numbers aren't going down, folks. Numbers is going. But what is coming at the end? Where am I going? We met, me, Mahamantra, and Sarthak, we went, what was that place called we went to? That corner street? Avenue Road? Yeah, we went there, and then these, remember those happy atheists?
Yeah.
You want to share a little bit about the happy atheists?
What can they say? They were atheists and they were happy.
They were just like, what nonsense is this now? They're coming up to the book table, and then we said, and we were just like, oh, this Bhagavad Gita, and then
No, you're missing the best part.
yeah,
They were like, we said, who are you guys? And then HADAI said, HADAI Prabhu, he said, oh, we're Hare Krishna. He said, Hare Krishna, you guys are the worst.
No, but Mahamantra said afterwards, here, you should take these books. These talk about your enemy. That was really funny. But it's true. In 16th chapter, Krishna speaks all about the consciousness. He even goes into this verse. Let me pull it up. He even goes into the words of what an atheist thinks like. And I like the 16th chapter. You know why? Why, HADAI PRANA? Why? It's because after the first couple verses, Krishna just starts speaking about me the whole time. Demonic natures. And so Krishna says, in the demonic person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now and will increase in the future, more and more. He is my enemy, I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am the perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. See, do you understand? The demoniac doesn't mean just people with devil horns and people who are. This consciousness is even there within us. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity. And thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such people are deluded by ignorance. Krishna is saying straight in the Bhagavad Gita. So the devotees, the preachers, try to disrupt this consciousness. And what do they do when they disrupt it? They generate doubt and then they generate faith. For you to know what something is, we're not just like anarchists and we're just like all doom and gloom. That's all like bad and sad and crazy. For you to know what something is, you need to know what something is not. That's what Sankhya Yoga is. Sankhya Yoga, my favorite example of how I explain Sankhya Yoga. You feel free to use this. I heard this from a devotee. Now, if I have Jivadoya Prabhu. Jivadoya Prabhu are friends. Me and her, we're friends, right? Kind of. Okay, kind of. We're kind of friends. So if I give you a nice, on your birthday, when's your birthday? 28th October. Okay, everybody get him a nice gift. So I'll tell you what Jivadoya Prabhu likes. He likes a nice frosted cake. Ooh, with sprinkles and white frosting, and it said "Happy Birthday, Jivadoya" in pink frosting. Now, if I give him the cake on his birthday, October 28th, he'll be very happy, right? He'll be happy. Yeah. Oh, my friend HADAI Pran has given me frosted cake. So nice. I like him so much. Now, on same birthday, October 28th, I give Jivadoya Prabhu another gift. Same type. I give him flour, I give him milk, I give him oil, I give him baking soda, I give him baking powder, I give him some egg replacer, and I give him a fire. What will he think? You think like, why is this guy giving me all these things? It's the same ingredients. It's the same thing as a cake, but you're taking it in sections. Same thing Kapila Muni is doing. He's saying, how do you break your attachment to something? Break it into its core pieces. You're seeing such a beautiful thing, like people idolize alcohol, right? I'm seeing such a beautiful thing such as alcohol. Let me break it down. How do I not get attachment to it? Break it down to its effects. Same thing, I see something beautiful I want to taste, like a burger or like meat burger or something like that. What is it comprising of? Many American kids and maybe Canadian kids, they don't even know what's in a burger or a chicken nugget or a hot dog. There's so much suffering. People think chocolate milk comes from brown cows. We've disassociated the product from what actually goes inside of it. And then you can actually enjoy it. If you don't have any attachment to it, you can't enjoy it. Like for example, I'll pick on somebody else. Okay, Vishesh, you're from which country? You're from India. And so if you went to a soccer match, like a football match, a football there is two teams playing. There is Yemen versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. Who would you support?
I've only heard of Yemen.
You won't. See, you wouldn't know who to support. Reason is because you have no players in the game. If you have something, oh, I'm from India, then I'll support India. Or, oh, I know someone on the field. He has plays for my favorite team. So if you have some stake in the game, then only you become attached. But if you have no stake in the game, if you, as an Indian, you go to a match between Yemen versus Bosnia and Herzegovina, you're like, I don't care. I don't care who wins. Same way in the world when we're interacting. Sango hyayam purushaha. We have no contact. We have no relationship with the material world. We're ultimately spiritual beings. So this is, and to contact that spiritual nature, we have to be absorbed in our chanting, be absorbed in our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. And just to end, my final verse is a beautiful verse of description of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 4, Text 40. Samsara sindhu mati dustara mutti tirshor nanya plava bhagavata purushotamasya lila katha rasa nisevanam antarena pumso bhaved vivida dukkha davarjitasya. What is Shukadev Goswami saying? He's saying this Bhagavatam, what is the quality? Samsara sindhum. You want to pull it up? 12.4.40. Samsara sindhum. In this world there's a lot of sindhu of samsara. Agreed? Ati dustana mutti tirsor. Dushta. Very difficult to cross. And then Shukadev Goswami is saying, I find nanya plava. I find no boat suitable to cross this. Then Bhagavata Purushotamasya. Then Krishna. But what about Krishna? Leela Katha Rasa Nisevanam Antarena. Pumso Bhaved Vivada Dukkha Devaditasya. Not even attachment to pastimes. Not even taste. Go to the translation. There's no suitable boat except that of cultivating, now think about it, cultivating devotion to the transcendental taste for the narrations. 3 of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is actually the nature of the Bhagavatam. There's no boat, no plava that is suitable to cross over this ocean of material existence except trying to cultivate devotion to getting a taste to the narrations of Krishna. We're not even getting to narrations of Krishna. We want to create devotion to the taste for the narrations of Krishna. So this is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you for tolerating this Srimad Bhagavatam class. And so, if there's any bhalo, if there's any questions or comments, we'd love to hear them now. Yes, Prabhu.
For today's class. My question is from the Prabhupada that it is mentioned that Govinda Gupta Bhujanam, that Krishna protects the dham and there will be no curse and anything like that. But if we see in past that Gandhari gave curse to Krishna, that because of him the whole Mahabharata happened, and now Krishna will she will because of her curse whole dynasty of Yadu will be destroyed. And second, in Vrindavan, Pulastya Muni gave curse to Govardhan that it will get shrink every day by the size of mustard seed. So how does that curse work?
So the acharyas say actually about Govardhan, I'll just speak on that. Govardhan, I was also thinking this, that Pulastya Muni gives because he goes to the restroom, and then Govardhan's like, no, I'm staying here. and I'm settling myself. So Pulastya Muni gives that curse. But in Vrindavan, no curses take place. So it's actually the acharyas comment on this pastime. They say that actually that Govardhan is reducing the size of a mustard seed, not because of the curse of Pulastya Muni, but because of separation from Krishna. So actually any even quote-unquote curses that happen in Vrindavan, it is actually, one, you can understand as Leela, and second, you can understand as separation from Krishna. So even if you go to Vrindavan, you have the external manifestation of Vrindavan. You have pigs and this and this. Even that is Leela. Pigs and stool and trash and all these things. Why? That is Leela because it is to protect the Dham from the people. So people really want to see Vrindavan. They have to see it through the eyes of a devotee. If you're coming to Vrindavan just for Dhoom Dhamaka and to do shopping or this and that, Krishna says, Mameve prapadyante mayam etam tarandite. Okay, but you will never get access to the spiritual benefit of Vrindavan. You'll only get access to the external shopping and food bazaar, no onion, no garlic food. But, sorry, this is a little heavy. But if you really want access to spiritual truth, actually, I love the 11th canto. 11th canto, 8th chapter, verse 21. If you ever want to memorize a good verse, very close to Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, supplementary to add to your repertoire. 11:8:21. It states, although one may conquer all the other senses, as long as the tongue is not conquered, it can be said that one has not controlled the senses. However, if one is able to control the tongue, then one is understood to be in full control of the senses. Amazing verse, right? Your other senses are not controlled, but if your tongue is controlled, but that means what you speak and what you eat. And speaking only about Krishna and Krishna Katha, and eating only Krishna Prasadam. And if we do that, then we can say it's a matter of time. But if all your other senses are controlled, but if your tongue is not controlled, everything is not controlled. So, sorry, tangent. But this is the point, is that if you want to see Vrindavan, it is a spiritual dham. It is not a material place. And their curses don't have any effect. Is that okay? Hare Krishna. You 1, 2. Yes.
I was just reflecting on the point that you said about Aurangzeb coming to Vrindavan and destroying the deities. I was listening to a lecture in which Prabhu was explaining that some atheists, they comment that your God cannot protect himself. Then how can he protect you? So then he was explaining that who is in Aurangzeb? Krishna is in his heart. What is in the weapon that he's using to destroy the deity? It's Krishna, because Krishna is in everything, right? And then in deity is also Krishna. So if Krishna destroys himself using himself, then it doesn't like change anything. So one thing is that I was reflecting on. And also you mentioned that it's a pastime, like Krishna wants it to happen that way, so it happens that way to accelerate another pastime. So that's a good one. Thank you.
This is a very good point, actually. Krishna works in such mysterious ways, you know. Narada Muni comes in the beginning of when Krishna is doing his Vrindavan pastimes, Narada Muni comes and says, "Hey, Kamsa, what are you doing? Or Krishna, what are you doing? You got to go kill Kamsa." And then sometimes to accelerate, like even he goes to Kamsa, and then Kamsa's like, "Oh, I'll only kill the 8th child." Narada Muni is like, "It could be any of them. You got to kill all of them." And you're like, wow, how does that make sense? Even in the beginning of the Mahabharata, we have the Ganga is drowning all her babies.
Yeah.
But Ganga had the full picture in mind. So Krishna, we have to have full faith that Krishna has the full picture in mind. We just don't understand it. We have only vision of this, but the vision is this. Does that make sense? Thank you. Yeah.
One thing I was also reflecting on is in one of the Bhagavatam classes, previous Bhagavatam classes, when Mataji was giving a class and she was mentioning that Krishna has multiple reasons of doing one thing. Like in Govardhan Leela, for example, he is satisfying the devotees by being with them for 24/7, and then he's breaking the ego of Indra, and then he's giving service to Sudarshan Chakra, he's giving service to Lord Shiva, he's satisfying the thirst of that person who's drinking that water, who was left thirsty in some yuga, and then he is like multiple purposes for one Leela. So like you said, his vision is very broad, so we have to consider the full picture.
Krishna is very efficient.
Yes.
He does he can multitask. He can do 2 things at once. So that's good. That's amazing. Thank you for adding that. Yes.
I got the answer already, Prabhu, from this discussion. So that is another mysterious way of.
That's mysterious.
Yeah.
Krishna works in
It is
efficient
very
ways.
amazing.
So now it's concrete in your mind
Yes.
that Krishna's very
That is a
amazing.
strong faith now. You are a fantastic teacher. I was just going to say, I'm like, he eliminated the doubt. You
Any-
did both jobs fantastically. Created doubt at the same time and strong faith.
It's strong faith.
Amazing, Prashya Prabhu.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for the class.
Krishna's amazing. Thank you so much. Anything else? Yes, Vishesh Prabhu.
No, I just want to thank you, Prabhu, because I love this so much. And when you guys came in, that night I was just trying to sleep, but I was not being let because your friend Abhinav Prabhu was giving me a whole 20-minute lecture on how Vishesh, your life will change by being with these devotees and you'll get to see another side of Krishna consciousness. You know, this city and this temple is not everything, and you'll see their mood, how fun they are, but at the same time how sincere they are. They'll quote 20,000 verses while talking about a Blue Jays games or something. And I was like, let me sleep.
I don't think that's a compliment.
What he's trying to say is that when they get so much knowledge, if anyone gets, they can develop a strong sense of, oh, I know so much. And then who are you? But you're just so warm, all of you. I just wanted to thank again, and I already have so many times to you, but even in front of everyone, so please accept it.
Vishesh Prabhu is such a great devotee. He can see. Let's give it a round.
This was for you.
No, that's for Vishesh. Let that be on the record. That was for Vishesh. No, it's been such a nice time here. I actually, I appreciate that actually a lot when you said that, because one of the things I try to do in my service in New York and everywhere I go is we have to somehow, and this is just me speaking from a platform, that you have to somehow present Krishna consciousness as fun, exciting. It is the most fun you can actually have. Just being with your friends, going out on the street, going on Harinam, going on book distribution. It's actually so much fun. But sometimes, that's why I really appreciate your morning announcements. We missed you this morning. Himanshu tried. we laugh for different reasons this morning. But it's so nice actually, because it brings, sometimes in the morning it's like, and then it's like so serious. But if your morning program actually brings a little bit of light and air and some breathability, and it's so amazing. You have the whole Toronto. You have a great task. You have all of Toronto to make Krishna conscious, and you meet amazing people if you outreach and their interactions with nature. And yeah, it's just it's one of the most. I always tell people, like, why'd you join the ashram at such a young age, or you should do this. I said I was just looking for the most fun thing to do. And if you have another idea, I'd love to try it, but I haven't found anything else. You concur, Mahamantra?
I can concur on that.
You concur on that?
Yeah.
Mahamantra is actually great. He's one of my greatest inspirations. He was just walking down the street, and then this is an amazing aspect of just being in the temple. I remember last year, Braj Balaka Prabhu, he was preaching so much in the temple. People coming to the temple. Mahamantra was actually just visiting the temple. Like, he had his dreads and saggy pants, and not saggy pants. Actually, he was wearing jean shorts, I think, or something like that. And so he was just walking, and he just talked to the person. Like Maharaj, before he left today, he mentioned that don't think someone else is going to talk to the people, that the institution is going to do it or anything is going to do it. You go and reach out and you talk to the person, that random person at the Sunday feast that you think, oh, someone else has got him. So I got a chance to speak to Mahamantra. That relationship started, and then now he's in Toronto.
The punchline is we're keeping him in Toronto.
Yeah, keep him there.
The punchline.
You want to stay in Toronto?
Be very careful. Be very careful with your words.
Our mission's a little bit bigger. He's got to go to the Bronx and liberate it. But yeah, so I would just encourage all of you, if I can encourage you all, my seniors in so many ways, that just like how Maharaj said, don't take it for granted. What is it? Govinda Bhuja. Everybody who comes to this temple, Radha Maharaj said, we should understand that they're a dear servant of Gopinath. They're a long lost servant of Gopinath. And they've come to cultivate that relationship with him. And we as temple residents, temple servants, temple visitors, we are meant to help them cultivate that relationship. So when we walk past people and we see new people in the temple, just take a few seconds. Ask them, can I help you with anything? Can I serve you with this? Krishna, and then they'll be like, wow, the devotees really took care of me. Rather than, oh, the devotees, I just went to the temple and I went and saw the deity and that's it. Think about it. Everybody who in this room, was it the devotees who brought you to Krishna consciousness? It's the devotees' care and love. Bhakti Marg Maharaj brought me to Krishna consciousness. Like when I was 12 or 13, and then he just showed so much. I was at a home program, and he threw a French fry in my mouth. What? Yeah, he threw a French fry in my mouth. In the middle of class. And so, wow, this is like, and just by this little association, I got the chance to experience all of this. Same way, there's unlimited jivas in Toronto, and you just put a little French fry in their mouth, take care of them, and then you see that your ashram and your temple will be flourishing and growing in no time, like how it already is. So, Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
His Grace Hadai Pran Prabhu.